Hello, welcome to my Interpersonal Communication PowerPoint by me, Trinisha Perryman, HSCO 508, Liberty University. Communication and communicating labels as a continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. Having to define the potential barriers in the interpersonal context and how to deal with each barrier will be identified and provided internally and externally. Interpersonal communication skills are learned behaviors that each individual can apply in order to improve relationships. These skills can be learned through continuous realization of need for improvement. Communication has 6 features of communication: meaning, choice, culture, identities, conversation, and nexting. Communication also has 2 very important aspects: exhaling, which is messages sending by the talker, and inhaling, messages reception by the listener. The suggestion to breathing emphasizes the impossibility in actual practice of separating these 2 processes, inhaling and exhaling. Identification of an overarching goal. It is difficult to understand others until we learn how to listen effectively to ourselves. Burley Allen, 1995. To be more positive about life by depending on God to help me build strong and healthy relationships with others, by getting to know them better, and by depending and leaning on God through everything and praying that it will all be in His will. To use the I-rational approach instead of the you-blaming approach in communication. To become more aware in my internal thought process. To master effective listening at all times. To inspire others to help them maximize them to their full potential, and also be an exceptional person with all the abilities that God has blessed me with. I also want to communicate effectively with others in a way that influences interpersonal relationships to a higher level of trust and freedom. Enlarging the conversation. There's a direct link between the quality of your communication and the quality of your life. Stewart, 2012. This encompasses all dynamics of interpersonal communication, conversation, and dialogue that occurs in relationships. It involves the empathetic listening, nonverbal communication, and self-disclosure. It is in a way that in which we live our daily lives in a genuine, authentic state. It is the world of meaning that people live both and through by using their perception and observing others' actions. It also encourages us to form contacts and maintain relationships with one another. It enables us to make sense of the world and our experiences in it. It bridges the gap between persons in inner and outer world, ultimately bridging the gap between reality and ideal. My background: culture, shared norms, values, beliefs, and related to how people live and communicate. Stewart, 2012. I am a 24-year-old African-American female. I was born and raised in California. I was adopted by my grandparents. In my religion, I'm a Christian. I believe that prayer changes all things. I know that He who gives me strength is my life in my Lord Jesus Christ. I also believe that there's a time for everything under the heavens. Behavioral blend. Behavioral blend is a personality pattern of some of the 4 different types of temperaments expressed by each individual. The 4 temperaments are abbreviated by 4 letters, D, I, and CS, that are used to describe our unique personalities. D, active and task-oriented. I, active and people-oriented. S, people and task-oriented. And C, passive and people-oriented. My specific behavioral blends, CIS and SD. Positive and negative blend attributes. Positive. I tend to be expected to have the balance of steel and velvet. I can be strong and soft all at the same time. People recognize my confidence and my humility. It impacts my interpersonal communication in terms of how I feel, think, make decisions, and relate to others. Negative. Others see me as flexible, but sometimes confusing. As I view my behavioral blends, I reflect on how they affect me in certain areas of my life, both negatively and positively. Potential barriers in my interpersonal milieu. Being aware of habits can help people stop them. Barriers that are in my interpersonal milieu: semantic barrier, flat brain theory and syndrome, external distraction, and also physical barriers. Noise pollution, internal and external. There are two different types of noise pollution, internal and external. Internal pollution includes lack of concentration in conversation by either ignoring the talker or doing the biased listening. External pollution is caused by factors such as noise, room temperature, and unclear body language. Noise pollution is a form of a barrier or distraction to effective interpersonal communication. Communication noise refers to influences on effective communication that alter the interruption of conversations. While often looked over, communication noise can have a profound impact both on our perception and interactions with others, and others are also analysis of our own communication proficiency. My action plan: to be more of an empathetic and active listener. Observe verbal and nonverbal communication, including listening to the use and tone and language of others. Be more secure and confident in my strengths and my weaknesses. Accomplishing more for myself and helping others believe in themselves. Being more articulate, which enhances my communication skills. Focusing on my strengths and to enhance my weaknesses. My references are on the last page. I thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed this video.